It's really good. Ever since watching its awesome trailer, I've been really looking forward to Lupin the Third the First. The animation looked absolutely phenomenal, and the film seemed to be extremely stylized, with a lot of heart and passion seemingly put into this film. I've always loved following thieves in media, and Lupin seemed to fit the charming, lovable thief caricature that I enjoy watching. So, upon watching it, what did I think? Well, I'll let my initial impressions speak for itself.
That was so good! I need to make a review of this. I want to see this in theaters. That was so good!
Lupin the Third the First follows charismatic thief Lupin, who has to team up with series newcomer Letitia in order to discover the secret of Brayson's diary. The plot has a few twists here and there, however, for the most part, it's a pretty by-the-books treasure hunting flick, featuring most of the cliches that you'd expect to see in a film of this genre. You can kinda tell where the story is going, and the movie didn't exactly surprise me in that department. But the film maintains such a great fast pace, keeping the story moving along at such a brisk speed, with no scene really crashing the film's momentum. Kinda like the Uncharted games, the story more or less serves as a drive for crazy set pieces, and a way for the animators to flex their talents because this movie looks good. It was animated by Marza Animation Planet, the same CGI studio that worked on the Sonic movie and Night of the Werehog. And holy hell, this has got to be one of the best looking animated films I've ever seen. Each set piece is extremely stylized, whilst also managing to be a slight bit cartoonish in nature, but not to an overbearing degree, instead making these moments a lot of fun to watch. Cool little details such as the camera movement really help complement these scenes, with the beautiful animation really taking them to the next level. All of the Lupin casts are transitioned into 3D magnificently, being pretty expressive and cartoonish, whilst also feeling detailed and somewhat realistic with their smooth, fluid movement. Despite never watching a single one of this franchise's numerous movies and shows, the film helped me piece together everyone's relationships with each other, and each character's personalities, which makes this film really accessible to newcomers such as myself. And I actually really liked most of the characters in this film. Letitia was definitely a highlight for me, which was a nice surprise since I honestly didn't think I would like her at first. But as the film continued, she turned into one of my favorite characters. Of course, Lupin was just as enjoyable, as the dude's honestly pretty lovable. He's cocky in nature, however, he's got the skills and wit to justify his smug persona, despite also being pretty goofy and silly at times. Another thing I really loved about this film is its OST. In my MFKZ video, I talked about how I didn't want to use the movie's soundtrack due to copyright. But nah, screw that, these tracks are too fucking good. I know that almost all of these tracks are new renditions of previous Lupin songs, but damn, they all sound so good, with some of them reminding me of something that'd be used in a Persona game or Cowboy Bebop, once again proving that Japan is the king of jazz. So Noah, you're not asking, but I need to be able to bring up this topic anyway, so I'm using the assumption that you're asking me a question through a screen. You may be asking. This movie looks really good. How do I watch it? Well, there's this little site called FBI, open up! Look, in any other normal circumstances, I would say just buy the film legally, or point out a streaming service that it's on. However, due to recent events, the film's international release seemed to be postponed. So fans were all like,
fine. I'll do it myself.
it's probably not the best idea to be promoting a pirating site on YouTube, but whatever. The subtitles were a bit off, but I used GoGoAnimeHub.tv. Okay, I need to cover my ass somehow. If this film gets an international release, please buy it then instead of just watching it for free, because the animators probably really worked super hard to make this film look as good as it does, and I don't want their efforts to not pay off financially, so yeah, please watch this film legally when able to. Also, when going onto the site, just remember to go incognito, because you'll probably wind up getting some ads telling you, you won't last 5 minutes playing this game. Like, is that supposed to be a threat? If you couldn't tell already, I freaking love this film. However, I do have one flaw with it, which admittedly isn't all too huge, but I do need to get into spoilers in order to discuss it. So skip to this time frame if you wish to not be spoiled about this film. Hey, would you look at this? I'm going into spoilers without going on a rant. Anywho, as I mentioned before, my biggest gripe with this film is the fact that it contains pretty much every cliche seen in these treasure hunting, adventure-esque films, such as the random newcomer being related to the creator of this treasure and being the key to finding said treasure, Nazis, extremely advanced tech that in no way would be possible during the creator's time period, the evil guy wishing to rule the world with the treasure turning out to be a super weapon. Also, the main villain was kinda dumb. Like, his motive was just getting this crazy weapon so he could simp to Hitler. Also, he reminds me of the villain from the We Bare Bears movie. Like, I can't be the only one who sees the resemblance, right? So yeah, I really like this movie, and I think this scene perfectly encapsulates why I feel that way.
いい結果もな。
From the absolutely beautiful, fluid animation, to the incredible OST that makes the scene 10 times more badass, this film is meant to serve as a celebration of Lupin's history, sort of like how Sonic Mania was meant to serve as a celebration of Sonic's history. And this film gave me the same joy I felt whilst watching the Mania opening cutscene, or the festival level in Mario Odyssey. Lupin the Third the First is a feel-good film without trying to be, and I believe that's an achievement. I'm not sure if I would call this film perfect by any means, but for what it's trying to be, it absolutely smashes it out of the park. And if this film ever releases at a local theater, I will be the first one in line for that shit day one, because Lupin the Third the First is freaking awesome.